So now I'm flying along the X or the Y beam towards the target. So I know I'm going to arrive over the target. I just don't know exactly when yet. So I need to determine the exact moment that I'm going to be over the target, or even more precisely, the exact moment I have to drop my bombs to reach the target. And they used this glorified stopwatch you see in front of you, which is called an X-Uhr. The Germans used a number of marker points on the main beam to determine the distance to the target. For example, 15 kilometers before the target and 5 kilometers before the target. These marker points were, or the time to cross between these marker points was measured with this clock to calculate the exact moment of release. First of all, I need to set the ratio. I mentioned 15 and 5 kilometers, so the first stretch is 10 kilometers, the second stretch is 5 kilometers, so that's a ratio of 2. And I do that by adjusting this little dial here. So now it's set up for the example I mentioned. The second bit that I need to program in is the time it takes for the bombs to fall onto the target. So for example 10 seconds or 20 seconds. I do that by advancing the or retarding the black dial 20 seconds before the start point. Now the clock is basically set up to run, and I wait and listen to the radio to hear the first marker at 15 kilometers before the target, and when I cross it, I start the clock. You will now see a short dial appear, which is dragging the black dial with it. The short dial is normally green, but unfortunately it lost most of its paint. You'll notice that it's running quite slow. It actually took 20 seconds to reach the 10-second mark because we set this ratio to 2, so it actually runs at half speed. So if I would have set the ratio to 4, it would have run at a quarter speed. The red dial, which will follow it later, will run at normal speed. So it will run to the 10-second mark in 10 seconds. So here we are flying this first stretch between the 15 and the 10 and the 5 kilometer mark, and I'll listen out for the second mark, which, for example, we are reaching now. I push the button and it stops the first pair of hands and starts the second hand, which is approaching it now. There's 2 electrical contacts on the hand, and you heard a little beep. That was my multimeter signaling it made a short contact. That would have actually have automatically released the bombs, which are now on their way to the target. I can now stop the clock. The aircraft can make a U-turn and get back to base. By pressing again, I reset the clock for the next mission. So this is the X-Uhr used to determine the exact moment of bomb release.